Crossing the Line is not a show intended to bully or harass anyone. Do not go out of your way to mess with the authors who write these fanfics. They make what we do possible. Thanks. Enjoy.
Steven's been trying to get better at improv. He watched a couple improv videos on the way over here.
Neither of them were very good, truthfully.
I kept making fun of one of the guys that was doing it.
And he couldn't defend himself because he's on YouTube.
Which in turn, it helped me with my improv. I came up with some pretty gnarly zingers.
It's true.
I'm not going to repeat any of them, but...
The first one looked like fucking Sinestro. He was really nerdy.
I said he looked like MODOK. He had a big head with a big hairline.
He had a big hairline with a faux hawk, and it was not very good.
He's not recovering from the Murdoch face.
He's like level 1 MODOK from the Avengers game, where his brain's just slightly bigger, but he still has a perfect hairline.
And the second one was just some woman who ranted.
That's all of them to you, eh, Steven?
I know, right? What's wrong with these people?
I used to
These people. Women.
I remember in high school, or maybe it was like late middle school, I used to watch stand-up with my friend. We just Google on YouTube like stand-up comedians and just watch them and think they were all so funny because we had no comedy basis whatsoever. And I'm sure if I just did that now, I would find the bottom of the barrel shit for sure.
You want to watch Jeff Dunham?
He had a special recently, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's still going.
Is he using any of his cultural puppets?
Of course.
That's what people like.
He has a puppet for everyone.
Don't you remember he was like the number one biggest comedian in like Saudi Arabia or whatever?
Mm.
I find that really hard to believe for certain reasons.
Why?
Nah, it's surprising. Another comedian is the one who brought that up. Like Gabriel Iglesias is the one who said that.
Are you sure he wasn't making fun of him?
Well, it could have just been him spinning a yarn for a joke, but it seemed to be pretty real.
I don't take Gabriel Iglesias the time to friggin' say something like that, like without any basis.
To plagiarize and steal the man's joke, he went to a third world country not a third world country, Middle Eastern country, and he was he had security driving around because I guess that's what they have to do there. Mm-hmm. And they told him he was the number 2 comedian in that country.
Yeah.
And he said, "Who's number 1?" And they said, "Jeff Dunham." And then he did a funny face, and the crowd laughed.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, you don't find them offensive at all?" He's like, "No, I kill you."
I'm having a hard time telling if this is a bit, and I'm being gaslit.
Why would we put 2 comedians under the bus like that?
You know I like Gabriel Iglesias.
I'm gonna bring up in 2 weeks how Jeff Dunham is loved by Middle Eastern countries, and you're gonna make fun of me and say, "What are you talking about?" As if you didn't just spin this tale to me.
Why would you bring it up again?
I'm gonna make you
I have to watch the special now that we've talked about it.
Is that what next week's theme is?
Jeff Dunham Fanfiction? Holy fucking shit. Is that real?
I'm looking it up.
I'm curious.
Keep talking.
Well, I could see why they would like it. There's a few American stereotypes in there too, like I don't know their names, but the redneck one and
he has
Sweet Daddy D.
He retired that one for obvious reasons.
Why?
Making a black...
It's fucking blackface, basically. That's why. It's not me, it's the puppet, he would say.
Jeff Dunham is a man on a mission to make us laugh. He is a ventriloquist and a master of his craft. So wherever he goes, he draws in big crowds with different nationalities and puts everything aside to laugh his corny
jokes. Does he draw them in with his different nationalities or with the...
and laugh along with his world-famous puppets?
It's okay, I'll make you watch our Ralphie May special and you'll forget all about Jeff Dunham.
That was a free fanfic for you listeners.
Ralphie May is like the most lowbrow, offensive motherfucker. He's like if Gabriel Iglesias was edgy.
I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about.
There's a character named Olivia Dunham from something called Fringe, and that's where most of these are coming from. Mm-hmm. Oh no, wait, there's Rick and Daryl's first Christmas together, and they watch none other than Jeff Dunham's Christmas special. Walking Dead character. Rick and Daryl.
Oh, they would too.
There he is. There's Ralphie May.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
I remember he had like a 1 a.m. Comedy Central special, and he sang the song like "Show Me Them Titties," or maybe it was some other fat guy. But they said he sang "Show Me Them Titties," and they showed real titties on Comedy Central in the crowd. And I was like, they can't do that. I remember they showed one of his specials a lot back in the day, though.
Oh yeah.
Something about being meat.
Something. I remember when he did this one. There we go.
Oh yeah.
That gag, and he also did the thing where he does this and go ding 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 ding.
He did do that.
He did do that live on stage.
And now you did
God.
that.
I sure did.
You're gonna be the next Ralphie May. Stephen May.
I just gained a bunch of fucking weight.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
I'm the next Ralphie May.
You can't say I'm not. I weigh the same.
Look at my physique.
Look at me.
Yes. George one day comes home and he's like, he's like Ralphie May, look at him.
Your family's like, we're getting worried about you. And you're like, no, it's because I'm Ralphie May. Get it?
It's funny.
You gotta admit, it's pretty funny.
And then they take your bucket of Chester's paws away from you.
Oh, my Chester paws.
Anyways, today's episode is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Welcome to Crossing the Line, a fanfiction podcast where we read, review, and critique fanfiction for your listening pleasure. I'm George G. Poole. As always, I've got my two co-hosts, Elias Viva Vlogs.
Hello.
And Stephen Blue Breed.
Hello.
You like Avatar?
Yeah. What's everybody's experience with Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I watched it on TV as a kid. I mainly remember season 1 stuff, the Book of Water, and then I kind of failed to keep up as it went on. And then I remember in Book 3, there was just like, they all of a sudden shotgun the last few episodes after like months of no new episodes or something like that. And that's my experience. I didn't watch them, but...
Pretty much the same. I watched it like sporadically whenever it was on. When I started getting, not into it per se, but when I started catching it was when they had shafted it into syndication on Nicktoons. So like I would only see it every now and then.
I ignored it completely, and then once it completed, I watched it all on like some file sharing website, and then I watched it again when Doug Walker did his Avatar review series.
Oh yeah.
A few years later.
So you could see whether or not he was right or wrong.
I liked it a lot, so I wanted to hear his opinions on it, and I still liked him, so I was like, I don't particularly dislike him, I just don't really watch it anymore. At the time, I was still watching most of his content, so...
Well, I think regardless of what you think about Doug Walker and his comedy and all that, I think his like actual reviews and whatnot are generally pretty well put together. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I've been watching his Dark Toons series lately, and honestly, I missed his writing style and the way he explains things. Like, you can tell he cares a lot about what he talks about, and I really admire that. We
watched his one on the Jetsons movie pretty recently, and I thought that was pretty interesting. I do like that the skits aren't really there anymore, just because those really do detract from the show. But I still think he's a fine guy. He makes good stuff.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's an internet review show. What do you expect?
Not to lull on this too long, but I've discovered him through his Casper review a very long time ago. So to me, his skits were always part of his character, and I never really disliked them. They did sometimes go on a little bit long in the later series.
Like the Lorax one?
Is that the one? I liked the one wherever it was Black Willy Wonka, or whatever his name was.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that character was pretty
Willy
funny.
Wonka and the Chocolate Fuckery.
Was that?
That's from Black Dynamite.
Oh,
no.
I really liked, I liked some of them. Like, the Lorax one and the Cat in the Hat one were really good in terms of the skits, because, like, he actually had something to say with the skits rather than, like, them just existing for a joke.
Yeah.
There's, like, where he has the devil and then the devil's daughter or something, and that's a whole lineage he's got going on.
The point is, I was watching him at the time, and so I watched the series again for that, and it's been a few years. And we just watched the episode Tales from Ba Sing Se to prepare for the podcast. and then we proceeded to watch the Paw Patrol movie and Ivanhoe's scenes on YouTube.
You can't say we watched all of the Paw Patrol movie when you just jutted around until Steven was satiated by seeing the mayor.
I had to see Mayor Humdinger of Fogville.
I had to go to the climax to see what stakes they would build up and then immediately resolve.
What is your obsession with colorful suit characters?
It's not an obsession of colorful suit characters, an obsession of really stupid Saturday morning villains. Like a fucking evil mayor who has a thing against dogs for some reason.
You should make a tier list for that.
Okay.
That'd be a good
They said you're going to jail and then gave him a wedgie in the scene cut, and that's it.
Like Dick Dastardly, Dr. Robotnik,
Friggin' Dan
Backslide, the evil talisman creature from Jackie Chan Adventures.
the fucking Dr. Wily from the Ruby Spears.
He's a good one.
What's the... I don't know, I can't think of his name. The librarian, man.
I am me.
I am
Not
meme.
a Saturday morning cartoon. He's just a meme.
I am meme.
Fuck you.
That's too good of a pun.
Anyways.
Yeah, we'll workshop that and get back to you, audience.
Will YouTube poop that into working into Avatar, I'm sure.
There's a lot of Avatar fan fiction, and a lot of it is very long.
Yeah.
Which we sometimes encounter. Like, Owl House had the same situation, despite being such a recent one. People will write like 100,000 word fan fictions on anything.
Who went first last time, Elias? Was that you or me or Steven? Or...
Let's see, I went second last
I went
time.
last.
Oh, okay, so then you should go first, Elias.
Okay, let me select from my favorites here.
Give us a food review on your long forgotten tea.
I found the Arizona brand Red Bush tea. Maybe it's called Rooibos, I don't know.
Arizona African Rui Boys.
African Rooibos red tea. I call it Rooibos because my mentor a long time ago, who's since passed away, called it Rooibos and liked the tea a lot. And so we'd have it all the time, like when we were having a meeting or whatever. And so I just remember the taste really fondly. And I was like, whoa, I've never seen this before, and got it. And it's not sweetened with corn syrup. It's got a very light amount of sugar. It just tastes like the tea. It's called Rooibos or African Red Bush red tea, whatever. It's pretty mellow. It's a non-caffeinated tea. When you think of non-caffeine teas, you got like chamomile. Rooibos is another good one. I don't know. This is another one of those ones. This one of those few non-caffeinated teas that are popular. I like it. Happy to find it. We were trying to find a food store to go to before we record because I just moved and there's no Wawa's here.
There's no Wawa. There's no racetrack. So we're left to our own devices, trying to just...
We're trying different corner stores.
Corner stores.
Hell yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway. Now the fan fiction can finally begin.
Okay. It begins. This is a mess. I have this obsession with writing specifically bad fan fiction just to see how many people actually go the distance to read it. Please review. I would love to see some feedback.
You better review this.
Not to see if it's any good, but to see how truly bad it is. I regret everything. This is a fanfic that mixes the story of beep with beep for humor. Please enjoy.
Okay.
Kuzo was baffled, absolutely perplexed. Not 3 days ago, his uncle's Swedish chef allowed him to enter his father's war room and sit in on a meeting.
What?
Kuzo hadn't expected much. The war between the Muppet Empire and the Sesame Stronghold had been raging for decades. Both sides were well equipped with letters, numbers, and musical numbers that could stop the other in its tracks. But that was the first time Kuzo had ever been allowed in the war room, and he was appalled for the lack of awareness his father's war generals seemed to possess. They were approving a plan that would send innocent Muppets into the belly of the beast without so much as a harmonica. In that moment, Kuzo was conflicted. He loved his uncle more than anyone could imagine. The chef had always been there for him, making him different foods in his times of doubt.
Did they just pick Kuzo because it's Zuko backwards? Who's Kuzo?
It's not backwards, but Kuzo is like the Muppet version of Zuko, I guess.
I imagine fucking Gonzo with a scar on his eye.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna net you anything, but it's correcting. It's correcting you.
Did you mean Gonzo Muppet, Rizzo Muppet, Zoe Muppet, Zoe Muppet?
Calm down. They're puppets.
Oh, Zoe.
That's, yeah. It's female Elmo.
Yeah. No comment.
Living as heir to the throne had never suited him quite as well as it did his sister, Miss Piggy, and he could tell that his father was growing tired of his insignificance. But his Uncle Chef would always give him that comical thumbs up and show him new cooking techniques, and his father would give him that disappointed stare. Yeah.
Just think of a Muppet with a burn mark on its face.
Yeah,
It's OC Muppet.
All its felt would just be black.
yeah.
And charred.
That's why, when he was about to call out the generals for hypocrisy, he remembered Uncle Chef's orders and his family gibberish to keep quiet and behave while present in the war room. This is just the scene where he gets beaten by his dad, but in Muppet form.
Oh no.
He speaks up to his dad and then gets the burn mark on his face.
Oh, that can't be good. The Swedish chef is gonna burn him.
No, that's his uncle. He's good.
Oh,
Fucking
he's gonna
plants.
throw a pot of boiling water on him.
Yeah, I was about to say plants
True.
a hot skillet against his face.
Ah.
He couldn't hold back, however, when the generals began to agree with the plan and officially approve it. So, with that, the generals began to agree with the plan and officially approve it. So, in front of the dear and not-so-dear family, he said, "That doesn't sound nice at all! We can't use such new Muppet recruits for such deeds! We will become just like those darn streeters!" The room went still.
Streeters.
He used a slur in the room, they all went still.
With a hard R.
He couldn't hold it back, it said. The room went still. Uncle Chef visibly stiffened next to him as Fire Lord Kermit finally stood up from his fire-concealed throne and stepped forward, darkness shadowing his face as the dark cloak he wore whipped around him. His eyes burned as they caught sight of his son. Kuzo's attention was brought back to the general he had offended as the man exclaimed, "How dare you question my authority?" he snorted haughtily.
That's your Kermit impression?
No, that's the general that he offended. It's not Kermit.
Okay.
It's the general having a conversation at the table.
General
Unexplained general.
Swedish chef.
There's Kuzo.
What? Why? Avatar: The Last Puppet Bender, hot air. 4 million views.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah,
not
they're
bad.
doing numbers.
Kuzo's attention was brought back to the general he had offended, and the man exclaimed, "How dare you question my authority?" he snorted haughtily. "This will not stand, Prince Zuko." "I'm sorry," he stuttered weakly, trying to think up a rebuttal, but as per usual, finding his confidence depleting under the harsh leer of his father Kermit. But no one listened. It was that day Prince Kuzo of the Muppet Empire was challenged to an Agni Kai and accepted the offer.
Kermit's fucking frog legs standing in a big open field.
Kermit's limp arm burning his face. And accepted the offer. Uncle Chef was justifiably terrified for his young nephew, but Kuzo knew the risks. Old General Bunsen Honeydew was old and graying, working more with the chemical aspects of battle than anything else. While the man was definitely one of his father's most favored military personnel, he was also getting weaker as the years aged him and had lost a large amount of his stamina. The year before, his favorite tuba had rusted in battle as well, giving Kuzo the idea that he could easily outlast Honeydew with the fiery power of his trusty euphonium. Yet, as the battle swiftly approached,
I forgot they have instruments.
Kuzo began to regret his decision. His father was being even colder than usual, and Piggy had been taunting him more frequently.
What would Piggy say?
They said that Piggy is his sister, but Piggy's Kermit's wife. That can't be good.
She's Azula, clearly. She's the hot one.
Yeah.
His father being even colder than usual. Even Uncle Chef was taking extra time to train Kuzo more often on his euphonium, and would repeatedly warn him that Honeydew was not a stranger to violence like he was. Although he had full confidence in himself to take the upper hand against Honeydew, he was more concerned about how it would affect his image, especially to his father. He was sure Fire Lord Kermit was furious with him. He had spoken out against the ruler's favorite general. The more in-depth Kuzo thought about what he had agreed to, he also noticed something damning. Not only was Kuzo afraid of his father's wrath for him, but for his uncle as well. Kuzo knew that Fire Lord and his brother's relationship was rarely smooth, They disagreed in a great many opinions, but even more so, it was the same brother that allowed Kuzo to sit in the meeting at all. He never should have begged him to go. But it was too late to take anything back then. However, as the entire nobility had decided to attend the event as if it was a sport, Piggy even made a point to tell him she would be there. And as much as Kuzo did want to go back in time and make a different choice, he was stuck with his commitments.
True, brother.
Mm-hmm.
As Uncle Chef told him after his defeat at Big Bird Nest, that was the line, thank you. Or in layman's terms, Kuzo, being Fire Lord doesn't mean that you must be this intimidating and warmongering man. True leadership is holding the fact that you can make a difference in the people you look so close after your heart. It is being able to survey a situation and fix a problem with tact and intellect instead of rage and impatience. It's sticking with what you say and keeping your word. A good ruler is a kind ruler, Kuzo. I see that in you. Now, do you want to make meatballs or meatballs for breakfast? That one line that you gave me was the line, and then he had like a whole paragraph.
Yeah.
Kuzo would not retreat. He would not surrender. He made a promise and he would stick to it. He would listen to his uncle, defeat General Honeydew, and maybe, with his fresh, hard-won respect, he would even change what corruption was occurring in his father's military exploits. Finally, Fire Lord Kermit would be proud of his only son. Chapter 2.
Oh, I forgot which one Honeydew was.
Yeah.
Ah!
Round old man.
He's going to fucking kill Kermit's son.
I had to kill your son. He said I was mean for killing innocent people.
I feel like Beaker would make a better Fire Lord.
Yeah, he'd be scary.
He would be scary.
Look at him.
Honeydew's cool.
Honeydew needs to be fucking depowered.
He's so old he lost his eyes.
He's so wise. He doesn't need his eyes.
Chapter 2. Welcome back to the Crap Show, everyone. I apologize for what you're about to see and wish you had not seen it. Also, I'm really not entirely sure how long this is going to get. I was planning to just get to the end of the backstory, but if any of y'all want me to take this all the way, I am not opposed. Anyway.
What's the word count on this one?
4,000. We'll try just chapter 2.
Nah, I was just curious to see like how far they went after saying that.
Anyways, Kuzo was tired. He'd only just barely dozed off when a servant knocked on his door calling that his father wanted him up. He had contemplated and strategized all night long while simultaneously attempting to drift off, knowing that he would be exhausted the next day. But his judgment, it seemed, was not getting any better, and neither was his fresh headache. This writer's really good. I don't know why they're so negative.
I think just the idea is what's they're like cringing over the Muppets as the Fire Nation.
They're barely doing anything with it, though. It's just the backstory still. But they're a good writer.
They just think the concept is dumb, but they're still working with it.
The Sesame Stronghold is such a funny fucking phrase. They're geniuses.
Those damn streeters.
Sesame eaters.
Sesame seeders.
Getting ready, he moved slowly, attempting to take deep breaths and center himself before the showdown. He could hear the clacking of servants' shoes running down the hallway more often than usual, making it obvious something was out of the ordinary. The air even felt a little more tense. He wondered where Piggy and Uncle were. Piggy was probably haughtily looking at herself in the mirror, practicing the laugh that she would burst from her mouth when her General Honeydew got a meager punch on Kuzo.
Wait, I thought they were just playing instruments.
I mean, yeah.
Honeydew with his shirt off.
Instruments of
This
war.
old man with his shirt off, ripped, playing his instrument. Big tuba.
Shaking the ground.
Her laugh was a show she would put on for the easily influenced crowd in order to make him seem weak.
Damn. What a soliloquy.
On the other hand, Kuzo was sure that Uncle Chef was off somewhere doing what he always did, making some sort of meatball and other Swedish recipes. It seemed to be a major stress reliever for the former general, and with Kuzo getting himself into such a klurgen, or mess, as he called it, Uncle called it, he must have been balling up beef since the crack of dawn. But Kuzo knew that he would eat each and every meatball if it meant that Uncle Chef was happy again, especially happy with him. He shook his head, breaking out of his rambling thoughts, and took one last look at his reflection. He heaved a deep sigh and started out of the room. Jogging down the hallway to the living room and making his way past it to the family's dining area, the royal chef brought out a plate of freshly made meatballs once he was seated.
I wonder who made those. I bet it wasn't the royal chef.
No.
They sure don't need two people making meatballs. A sure sign that his assumptions about his uncle were accurate. Both chefs tended to fight it out for the kitchen once in a while, and it was apparent that the royal chef wasn't entirely happy with the major takeover of his workspace.
Really, his uncle, Swedish chef, wants to be in the kitchen.
Who would have thought? His war general uncle, Swedish chef. The chef nervously fidgeted, standing awkwardly after setting everything up on the table in front of the prince, his fingers threading and unthreading almost viciously before he tentatively spoke. Your Royal Highness, I do hope that you take no offense to my request, but would you mind asking His Highness Swedish chef to exit the kitchen for a while? We're trying to prepare lunch for a large number of guests because of your challenge. He said the words carefully, and after adamant yet gentle persuasion, it doesn't seem as if he will agree to leave on his own. That was not in quotes, but also him talking, I think. Kuzo smirked fondly and gave a short chuckle. Sorry about him. He just gets a little stubborn sometimes, I suppose. He dipped his head in approval. Tell him that I wish to speak with him. That should distract him enough. The chef skirted skittishly around the corner, and not 5 minutes later, a disheveled Uncle Chef came loping out and sat down with Kuzo.
Disheveled?
He just, hobbles over to him and sits down.
But it's like puppeting, so he's like...
He looked the boy up and down before noticing Kuzo's meal, meeting eyes with him and
just meatballs.
Meeting eyes with him and jerking his head towards the meaty spheres to ask of their quality. Kuzo huffed a laugh. Yes, uncle, they're good as always. Why even ask?
Kuzo huffed a meatball.
His classic meat spheres.
Uncle Bender.
Yeah, the meatball bender.
Meat bender. Yeah. Yuck.
Uncle Chef took a breath in preparation of responding, but was cut short by Piggy entering the room. Dad wants you, nerd, she said, and then swung herself back into the hallway carelessly. Striding down the corridor towards the indoor training ground was the first time he heard it. There had always been a large amount of Muppet Empire nobles, but the loud, anticipatory chatter had reached near maximum volume. His dad keeps asking for him, but he keeps not going to his dad.
He's terrified.
He's working his way there.
Would you go to your dad if you knew he was about to watch you get your ass beat?
I'd probably go to him so I could say, don't make me fight your friend.
He'd say,
No,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
No.
Get that thing out of there.
You have to fight him. There was only 5 minutes left until he was officially scheduled to face off with General Honeydew, but it wasn't until he saw the battle platform that had been constructed to house the match that he truly felt the reality of what was about to happen.
It wasn't until he bought the battle pass.
The platform was long and covered in the typical greenish red that bespoke of Muppet Empire glory. What irked Zakuzo about the structure, however, was the fact that it was built like a stage. He felt as if his father had set it up in that way on purpose. He wanted everyone to know how painfully weak and sad his son was, so he set up an illustration with seats and everything. But none of that mattered then.
As Kermit sits with his big dictator hat.
His big dick. Kuzo grasped his trusty... What the fuck is a euphonium? Look it up, please.
Okay.
I want to know.
I'm pretty sure it's like a brass instrument.
Like a flute?
Like a horn.
Yeah, it's just like a short trumpet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You mean a short tuba?
Yeah, a short tuba. I didn't see a size comparison until just then.
Tuba.
Contrary to what he had glimpsed on the site beforehand, the stands were illuminated in a way that left him visible to the crowd, but would inevitably make him blind to his opponent's entrance. Another disadvantage. I'm sure my father was a part of this. This isn't an Agni Kai to him. It's a dramatic game. he thought warily as he climbed the steps and stood on the platform. Suddenly, he heard the crowd cheer once again, indicating the welcoming of Kuzo's opponent. He strained to see through the veil of shadow cast in the general's direction, as he could only see the vague silhouette of someone stepping onto the raised stage. In his silhouette of
A character like General Honeydew with just a silhouette is so funny.
Yeah.
Little man with a big round head.
Just because, like, you know how they make the Muppets stand and they just look so awkward. Just him, like, walking forward.
A-posing.
Yeah, his arms down. Like, bobbing up and down.
I'm sure there's a shot like that in Muppets in Space. I'm like getting on the spaceship or something.
General Honeydew gets ready to kick ass.
The crowd had stopped cheering and gone completely silent. Wait. In his visual effort, his mind whispered that something had changed, and his breath caught slightly when he realized what it was. The crowd had stopped cheering and gone completely, utterly silent. Kuzo glanced in the noble's direction, momentarily, to see they all had frozen in shock, staring at the General Honeydew across the way as if he had grown another head. Still bathed in shadow, Kuzo took stock of himself in an attempt to quell the palpable feeling of zinging through his bones. He had an inkling that whatever the crowd was looking at would lessen his chances, but he wouldn't let it stop him. He promised his uncle that he would be fine, and he meant to keep that promise at all costs. Again, he reminded himself how frail the general had become and took heart in the fact that he knew he could beat him. He forced a confident smile on his face and awaited the beginning of the match, getting into a fighting stance. But his newfound self-assuredness was shattered when the general waved his arm and lit the torches meant to keep the platform bright. Kuzo's heart began to pound rapidly, his eyebrows knit together and his mouth hung open. He looked around desperately, searching for anything that might help him, but found nothing, not even able to pinpoint his uncle seated in the crowd. At his hesitation, Honeydew gave him a grim, lurking smirk and laughed long and low. This gaze Kuzo had seen many times, but it never had been violently directed at him. But General Honeydew would have never been able to wield that much power, or inspire that much fear in Kuzo. Only one person ever could. The single most influential and warping figure in Kuzo's life. No, it wasn't Honeydew at all. It was Fire Lord Kermit.
No.
Okay. I'll leave you on that cliffhanger.
Ooh, it's just like episode 2. I rate that story a surplus amount of meatballs out of 10.
See, I rate that dropping really bad fucking slurs on the street out of nowhere.
I rate that the long shadowy silhouette of Honeydew in the distance.
God, what an intimidating force.
Indeed.
Little Muppet legs all scrunched up.
Fucking cue ball ass.
Kermit walked up and put his whole hand on Honeydew's shoulder and said, Let me do this, Buster.
You need to teach my son a lesson.
And then he slapped his felt hands together. His fists.
Who would like to go next?
Steven?
Okie doke.
This better be good.
We'll see.
This random chance better be good.
Random chance. Aang exits the avatar state and looks at the destruction caused around the base. Katara then instinctively rushes over to his side to comfort him. I'm sorry, Katara, Aang sadly says. I hope you never have to see me like that again. Who's General Fong?
What do you mean? You picked the crossover. Isn't that like from... Is that from Kung Fu Panda?
No, I think this was the character.
No, it's from, it's from Avatar.
Are you sure?
I'll look up what he looks like. I can't think of it.
Oh,
it's like the general from the Earth Kingdom. There's a part where this general in Avatar wants to use Aang. He forces him into the Avatar state to get him to fight for him, basically.
Oh, okay.
And then, but doing that makes Aang so powerful that he kills all his men.
I see.
And then the general runs up and is like, "Fuck,
Fuck!
Are you joking?
I was thinking it was the duck from Kung Fu Panda 2.
No, not. No, not Ping.
You mean Poe's dad? It's not.
No, there's a villain bird in Kung Fu
Oh,
Panda 2.
him. Oh, okay.
General Ping.
Ha! Are you joking? General Fong says excitably. That was almost perfect. We just need to find a way to control you when you're like that. You're out of your mind, Aang plainly says to him.
Plainly. You're out of your mind.
I guess we'll figure it out on our way to the Fire Nation, Fong says as Sokka tries to sneak up behind him and knock him unconscious.
Sokka?
Tries. Doesn't bode well.
So...
Is that your Sokka voice?
That's someone else.
That's some voice.
Sokka, I'll take care of this, someone says to Fong's far right.
Oh no, who could it be?
The speaker then appears to be a 1 or 2 year old dressed in a yellow shirt with red overalls, holding a glass of what appears to be orange juice.
My brain like slot machined through different animated babies, and then it finally landed.
Stewie, Fong says with pure fear.
Oh,
What?
I thought it was Caillou.
Oh.
What the hell are you doing here? Oh, nothing, just this. He then finishes the last of his juice. That's
Who's
good.
this?
Leaving now.
That's good, OJ. He then
Fuck off, Stewie. I didn't ask you. We're having a moment here.
He then suddenly throws the glass at Fong's face.
Shatters glass on his head.
Fong yells out in pain as Stewie proceeds to kick him in various places. You like that? Huh? You like how that feels? He continues to beat him up as Aang, Katara, Ahsoka, and the Earth Kingdom soldiers just watch in shock and surprise.
I'd watch too. Some baby comes up, tumbles over, and breaks a glass on his head, starts beating the shit out of him.
Beating
Like
this general.
the vast majority of them can warp the ground under their feet, and this baby just walked up and broke glass on him.
That's fucking brutal.
Oh my god. Stewie then reaches his way up to Fong's face and punches him dead on for at least 10 seconds.
You gotta love that Family Guy violence.
Of course. Shouldn't have done that, man. Shouldn't have gone that far, he says as Fong continues to cry in agony as he's literally forced onto the ground by Stewie's punches. Yeah, you got money for fake beards and you don't have enough for soldier life insurance, Stewie says to the battered and bruised Fong.
Using the same exact punching sound effect over and over.
How much that beard cost you? How much? 2 gold pieces, Fong answers. Stewie then takes out a baseball bat, originally supposed to be a gun, but I thought that was too graphic.
Thank you for censoring yourself, author.
And he begins to beat Fong's arm with it. Oh god! He shouts in pain as Stewie proceeds to beat his other arm.
You love stories where you get to scream in agony.
Of course. Dude, the minute I see a capital A 3 in a row, I start fucking watering at the mouth. Should we do something? Katara says worriedly. We should, but we won't, Sokka says to his sister. Stewie then finishes beating Fong with the bat and heads out of sight for a moment.
Where? That's like in an arena in that scene.
No, he walked past the horizon line.
Yeah, he walked off screen.
Outside of the 1280 by 720 aspect ratio.
Yeah, he's in the stage.
Stewie! Please! Fong begins to plead. Just give me oh my god! Stewie then appears dressed similar to General Iroh, holding a cup of tea in his hand.
What the fuck?
He then,
That would look so bad.
He's so short, his beard would touch the ground.
yeah, the beard would cover up his entire cosplay.
It's cosplay.
He then takes a sip of the tea and then fires an enormous fire breath upon Fong, scorching him immensely as he screams in pain.
Why did he dress up like Iroh?
Iroh does the fire breath.
Yeah, but he's the nice one.
Not towards Fong.
Not in Stewie's book.
I'm about to grab on Stewie's side all of a sudden. Not towards that bastard Fong.
I fucking hate that guy. That
Man.
war general.
Surprisingly, he survives the attack as he moans in pain and terror. Oh, one last thing, Stewie says. Sokka, can I see your boomerang for a sec? Sokka then fearfully hands it to Stewie. He smacks Fong upside the head with it, knocking him unconscious.
Didn't even throw it.
Nope. Any of you idiots got a problem with that? Stewie says to the Earth Kingdom soldiers. They all shake their heads fearfully. Didn't think so.
He's like 1 foot tall. He has no powers. Just box
Earth
him.
bend.
Earth box him.
Right.
Put him in a 1" by 1" box.
He then heads over towards Aang and the others, who show looks of terror. Don't worry, guys. I just have a problem with all the rock nuts over there, Stewie says to them. Oh. Okay, Aang begins. Thanks, I guess. But was all that really necessary? He finishes, forgetting his name. Stewie Griffin. Nice to meet you, he says, shaking Aang's hand.
It's not nice to meet you.
Having to bend over to bend this fucking baby's hand.
He's like, I'm a pacifist.
And yes, it was. By the way, might not happen for a while, but I'd be up to teaching you firebending when the time comes. How about it? Aang then looks to his friends for guidance.
Guys, do I go off with this strange baby?
He could be useful in a fight until then, Sokka says to him. Katara, Aang says, looking towards her. Hey, I'm not giving any arguments over here. By all means, let him come, she says hesitantly.
Okay.
She's scared of him.
Okay then. Welcome aboard, Aang says to their new teammate.
New teammate.
They've got Stewie instead of Toph.
Yeah. A couple soldiers walk towards the group cautiously. Do you still need an escort to Amashu? One soldier asks. Katara then begins to open her mouth, but Stewie interrupts. Yes, we would, thank you. Also, you might want to send some reinforcements over here soon. Why? Sokka asks. Let's just say they're gonna need backup real soon, Stewie answers. Fire Nation? Fire Nation. He sent his fucking nation after him. The soldiers then depart as Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Stewie, along with Momo, fly close by toward Appa to prepare to take off.
Appa, yip.
Woo. By the way, Stewie, how do you know General Fong? Katara asks. Let's just say he wasn't General Fong when I first met him, Stewie answers. What do you mean? Aang asks.
Oh, this is when they do a cutaway.
You don't want to know, Stewie says to him.
Fuck.
Is his beard fake? Sokka asks. Rat fur. Pure rat fur. And that's the end.
Pure.
I rate that story made me uncomfortable.
Quietly watching this baby beat the shit out of a grown man.
I rate that one Bossing Say brand screwdriver over the general's head.
Let's see, I rate that fucking fire breathing. A fire breathing baby.
Who had to walk off to get his comedy cosplay. And come back in. That's fucked. Honestly fucked. Oh jeez, it's late. But we're gonna power through.
Hell
And
yeah.
I got a fanfic to read that I'm very excited for.
We had to watch The Boss Baby. Sorry, I meant Paw Patrol. They all bleed together.
Fucking scrolling through Instagram trying to make coherent thoughts. Yeah,
I'm trying to stay awake.
Boss Baby.
He sees one crescent emoji and he's like, oh, it's DreamWorks. Oh, the Boss Baby.
Yeah, whatever.
You should have got a tea with caffeine in it.
Yeah, but I didn't get the cool Nelson Mandela tea otherwise.
You better save that can. You never know when you'll see another one.
Another picture of Nelson Mandela.
Guys, number 362 sent us the location and plan of Father. Kids next door. Battle station. Nigel, number 1, yelled. They got their weapons and began to run in a group. Other kids and the kids next door were running to the bus stop. Other K&D members were running in different direction, but in a group of 5 as well. The K&D got off the bus and went to a volcano. They went to a volcano and entered it by going on top and falling down.
How is it spelling volcano? Why are you saying it like that?
Just because they said it went to a volcano twice in a row.
Oh.
I really wanted to emphasize that they went to a volcano. And then they climbed the top and fell into it.
Yeah, because next door, father's in the volcano. Jump in.
What a joke.
Guys, I think we got prank called.
That's why it's so hot in here. Ah! Kooky, number 3, was the most scared, so she pulled her parachute first. She arrived there last, and everyone looking at her as if saying, "What the hell?" She just replied happily, "Glad that's over," and kept on smiling. Sometimes I worry about you, Wally, number 4, says.
You should really be exiting the battle bus as soon as possible for the best placement on the map.
You really don't want to miss those gold drops. Thanks for worrying about me, but you don't have to, she says, not knowing what he means.
Fortnite cookie.
$19 Fortnite card. The adults are keeping them from us.
The adults have put caps on my parents' credit card. The adults are my parents.
Count Spankula spanked my PS4, and now it doesn't work anymore.
Sticky Beard put something sticky in the disk drive. Now it won't do anything.
Now it gets really loud when I turn it on.
Number 4, they all do that. That's just what happens when they go online.
No, it was Sticky Beard. My PS4 is pristine. Number 4.
I bought the PS4 Pro.
Number 4.
It doesn't fucking matter. They sold you crap.
Nah.
But it costs $100 more. Yeah.
$100 more. Okay. I really do have to worry about you, he says. Guys, can we talk later? Right now we have to move, number 1 says, getting impatient. They walked until they saw a room with 5 doors. Number 5, you go through the 5th one. Number 4, you go through the 4th. Number 3, you go through the 3rd. Number 2, you go through the 2nd. And I'll go through the 1st.
Okay.
He says.
What kind of asshole wrote that?
A child.
His fucking name. I'm gonna put something in his PS4.
Oh, that reminds me, I gotta leave a review. The last one I read.
I'm gonna pick his PS4 up over my fucking head and drop it.
This was written before PS4s existed. Let's see. Hey, you counted down from 5 to 1, Kooky says, giggling. It doesn't matter, now go, Nigel says again, getting impatient. Number 5 says someone is in a bad mood, Abigail, number 5, says with her red hat over her eyes. Well, my bad, number 5, that you would rather stand here and watch number 3 waste time, Nigel yells. He He watch starts to beep, and it's number 362. Hey, Nigel, when are you taking me on that date you promised me? She says flirty. Number 362, not now, he says blushing while everyone just looks at him. You brought your friends into a volcano with numbered doors so you could get punani?
She didn't say that.
No. But he did. He clicks his watch off before she could say another word. Well now, number 5 knows why you wanted us to rush, number 5 says smirking. Hey, why don't we go through the doors and stop father, number 1 says. Yeah, wouldn't want us to see you talking to your girlfriend, Hoagie number 2 says, laughing really loud, while everyone else just stares at him. They just ignore him and go through the doors. After what seemed like an hour, they met up and saw father sitting on a throne, so he is actually there.
In the volcano.
Number 362 is just telling number 1 to get it done so they can get stuff done.
Father says, I know you stupid kids who go through the numbered doors numbered after your code names.
Your children! Your brains are small!
But you thought that was a clever puzzle.
Fucking idiots!
They're all different dead ends, and they all address you personally, laughing at you at the end.
My delightful children said your attention spans were rather small. I didn't know they were so right. They met up with father and saw him sitting on a throne. Let me tell you, he was more heated than usual, literally.
Probably because he's hot in there.
I can finally destroy you kids next fucking door. I will rule the world, and no one will stop me. He says with fire all over his body. We'll just see about that, Nigel yelled. Change of view. Guys, I can feel people under this volcano, says Toph. Toph.
Oh yeah, that was hard. I forgot. Having such a good time with the Codename Kids Next Door story.
Your father dropped the F-bomb in front of him in an active volcano.
Grabbed such a hard bomb that Toph felt it in her feet. Guys,
I feel swearing. We should go.
Someone just said a really bad word.
Toph just starts fucking laughing and they're wondering what's so funny.
She gets a weird tingle in her toe. Her dirty, dirty toe.
Oh.
Toph, let's think about this for a sec. Why would anyone be in a volcano unless they're a firebender? Sokka says. Actually, earthbenders bend the lava, 'cause lava is just molten rock, Azula says, smiling at herself. Stop trying to outsmart us, Sokka yells. Snoozles, everyone knows that except you, Toph says. Toph finds a spot and earthbends the whole group in. Normal view.
What does that mean?
I guess back to the kids next door.
Oh.
And
No,
father.
I mean she earthbends everyone in.
She earthbends it. She turns the ground into an escalator. I don't fucking know.
She makes a big old rock cork to put in the volcano.
Suffocates everyone inside.
Father was about to throw a big fireball at them when out of nowhere water comes and washes it out. The kids turn to see a group of teenagers. They point their weapons and Nigel asks, "Why are you teenagers helping us? You guys don't like us." "We help everyone. Do you have a place that we can discuss this at?" Aang asks. "We do, but you're not invited," Wally says in an Australian accent.
Got him.
"We just helped you, and I am Princess of the Fire Nation, so you will give us a house or face the consequences," Azula shouts with a dark look in her golden eyes and blue fire. I don't know. Because she's gonna fight father or something. I don't fucking know. I don't think she ever had like a character turnaround. I'm pretty sure she was a bad guy all the way through.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
literally went insane.
That was cool.
Mm.
Wally, protect me. She's scary, Cookie says, shaking behind Wally. No! Go away! Wally says in an angry tone. As Wally drops her into the volcano.
No, die.
That's a weird way to treat your girlfriend, Jet says, chewing on a piece of straw. Why is Jet here? Who's Jet?
Who is Jet?
Oh, it's okay.
It's
There's
Titus's dad.
no. He's like yeah. Actually, I'm not gonna explain the scene. It's Titus's dad. But there's a reason Azula's here also. It's like a scene towards the end of the show.
Okay. Well, she is not my girlfriend, Wally yells. Whatever you say, Jet says, smirking.
Fuck off, Jet. Who asked you?
Can we just get out of here? Because number 5 is bored.
Yeah, number 5 is bored with the climax of Avatar, so maybe we should just cancel everything.
As Fire Lord Father's getting ready to summon a meteorite.
Yeah.
Casting like Faraga.
Now you've made me angry.
I'm bored.
I fucking love Father's voice. He screams so fucking loudly.
Nothing makes father more angry than the kids saying they're bored of him talking.
They are not coming in our treehouse, Nigel says.
I hope not.
Okay, we can stay here and talk about your date with. Abigail was cut off by Nigel saying, okay, let's go to the treehouse. Number 5. That's so, Abigail says. They went...
What?
They're leaving!
They actually did walk out on the plot of the show.
They walked out on the plot of Father in a volcano. They just poured water on him and I guess he's done.
He said, I'm going home.
I don't even know if Qatar is here.
They got bored. They wanted
That's a
to write a
good
different
point.
story.
That's a good point. Who else would have thrown the water?
They have all these fucking characters in this volcano. They went outside and waited by the bus stop.
They're going to school now.
What are we waiting for? Azula says, getting impatient.
The fucking fire princess.
She's impatient.
We gotta go to school, Azula.
For the bus, Nigel says simply.
I'm crying from this shit. Oh my god.
What is a bus, Qatar? You live in the year 2009 and you don't know what a bus is? Number 5 can't believe this, Abigail shouts.
Damn, that's gotta be embarrassing, Princess Azula.
No, Katara doesn't know what a bus is. She's here, by the way.
Oh.
There's like 12 of them standing on the rim of a fucking volcano at a bus stop.
You think the bus driver's gonna let these teenagers on? Don't go to the school?
Do you think Katara wears a bra? That's battle-ready armor.
That's the teenager thing.
We should watch season 2, episode 3.
Oh
That's
shit.
that episode.
They say, look, Chad's wearing a bra. And he goes, no, it's battle-ready armor. You fucking dweebs. I can't wait to see this. A princess must see everything, Azula says. You haven't seen one thing, Jet says, smiling deviously. A fucking low blow.
Got him.
Damn.
I'm sure I don't want to see what you're talking about, Azula says.
I can't believe Jet and Azula are here. Neither of them should be anywhere with the gang.
Isn't Jet also a fire guy?
He's like a radical anti-firebender guy.
Oh, yeah. When Aang got hair, I kind of stopped watching, to be honest with you.
It's fine.
But then I caught like random episodes of the finale here and there. I should watch Avatar probably, but I got things on my plate.
Jet showed up pretty early on, and then he came back later at the end.
No, I remember Jet. I remember him now.
He has the straw in his mouth. He's edgy.
Yeah, he wasn't there super early. Let's see. Fine, suit yourself. But if you change your mind, call me, Jet says, making his hand into the shape of a phone and putting it to his ear. They have phones, but not buses.
Call me.
Jet, she doesn't want you. Just leave her alone, Katara says. Katara, I got room for more if you like, Jet says. He's fucking going down swinging. He wants all of them. He'll take anyone who comes.
He came all the way to the home and the bus stop just to make passive-aggressive comments at them.
He's going to appear at number 3 and 5 soon enough. Number 362 is going to be in his grasp before long.
I guess I'll take number 362.
He's setting the pecking order real fucking early, huh?
He was so quick to say, well, Katara, you want to do something? I mean, I'm here, you're here. Waiting for the bus, quote unquote, whatever that is.
The bus isn't coming.
The battle bus.
Oh. As if I would, she says. Guys, the bus is here, so get on and act like civilized people if you can, Nigel says. They get on the bus, and Azula says, I thought the bus was going to be great, but this is terrible. What did you expect? A fancy flying animal or something? For once in my life, that wasn't a fucking stutter. They put A twice. Hoagie asks, laughing a little. Yes, I did, Azula said, serious. Oh, well, never mind the laughing, Hoagie says. They get off the bus and go into the tree house. Well, that's it for now. The next chapter will be longer and we'll describe what they look like. Please. We know what they look like! Please is the author's brother, and I say fuck chickens, you bitches. Chapter 2. Nice place you got here. Any bets?
What school?
No, they're at the treehouse.
Oh, okay.
He wants it so bad.
Nice bed. Ain't got any beds.
He said, nice place you got here. Any beds? You know,
gonna be the
fucking.
That's gonna be the worst line. Going over to a girl's house, nice place you got here. Got any beds?
You know.
For later. Just show me where.
It's only noon. How can you be sleepy? You need a better sleeping schedule, Wally said.
Oh, Wally.
You need to go with your girlfriend and leave me alone, Jet says, pointing to Cookie.
Oh my god.
I fucking hate Jet.
Why is Jet following them everywhere just to make passes to their girlfriend?
He wants to have sex. He wants it so bad.
Fucking trooper, this one.
Every scene, he's leaning against the wall with straw in his mouth.
Holy
That
shit.
was a pretty good volcano, you know what was missing though? Some beds.
He walks up to Father and says, nice place you got here. Any beds? And Father just looks at him angrily.
Jet! What's he doing here? He'll ruin everything!
I wish the Toilinator would show up. She is not my girlfriend and never will be! Wally shouts, balling his fists as if he were about to punch Jet right now. Right. And Azula does not want...
Every fucking piece of dialogue with this fucking...
What did he say?
I haven't been this taken aback in so long. Right. And Azula does not want to have sex with me, or any girl in the world doesn't want me. Holy shit.
Jet finally stops fucking around.
Right, and Azula does not want to have sex with me, or any girl in the world doesn't want me, he says, smiling at Azula, Katara, and all of the other girls in the room.
Get this freak out of here!
He slowly looks at each one of them in the eye with a big smile on his face.
Oh my god! Slowly looks at them and they all frown at him individually.
So he just moves on to the next and the next and the next. And then he never loses confidence. No, I do not. I would rather kill myself than to even hug you, Azula says.
Holy shit!
As a matter of fact, I could kill you.
God damn!
Jet just backs away from her knowing she will do it.
Oh, what's the matter, you fucking Sigma? You're scared now.
I thought he was gonna say, "Oh, I'll just stab you, and then I'll fuck you anyway."
Yeah, I tried to proofread and I saw Jet's name, so I thought it was Jet gonna say the line. I thought Jet was gonna threaten to kill her.
Oh yeah, well what if I just fucking kill you?
Number 5, gonna watch some TV.
Oh my god!
Come on, number 5, read the room.
My heart
She is reading
dropped.
the room. She wants to do something else.
My heart dropped. I thought she was gonna say number 5 wants to watch.
Abigail said, walking to the couch. I wish I could see the TV. Toph says, a little sad, but her eyes never show emotion.
Oh yes.
Story fucking sucks. It's so funny. You're blind! That is so cool! Wally said.
These characters should not be interacting. They need to get away from each other.
Why did they go back to the treehouse?
That's so cool.
No, it's not, Toph says. It's never good that you can't see your friends, can't see the TV, or any clothes, or a bunch of other things. Toph says, even though she is looking at Zuko. Zuko's here!
They've never addressed him.
He's just been standing quietly,
Fucking wallflower.
waiting his fucking turn to speak. But nobody will shut up.
To be fair, it's really hard for his personality to exist when Jet is here.
And all of the kids next door. I feel like I'm gonna pass out.
You're blind? That's so cool.
What is Zuko gonna say?
That's rough, buddy.
Toph says even though she is looking at Zuko, but since the treehouse floor is made of wood, she can't see the vibrations.
What do you mean?
Oh.
Yes, she can.
She can't woodbend, I guess. I'll just watch TV. Bye, Wally says, slowly walking away and joining number 5 on the couch. Kooky sits beside him also. Soon everyone is either on the floor, in a chair, or on the couch.
What do you think they're watching?
Oh, so there's a couch.
It's kind of like a bed.
I think they're watching Jersey Shore.
I think they're watching Time Squad.
We're watching Kids Next Door.
Their exploits.
They're watching Toilinator bloopers. They're watching the credits scene where they make characters like jump up and down to the beat of the song. Wally keeps looking at Toph and Kooky and noticing how much they look alike. No, they don't. Black hair. They wear green.
They're both sort of look Asian. Because Toph is supposed to, like, she has like traditional Chinese kind of dress.
Yeah. Toph doesn't know she's looking at him. Oh yeah, I forgot they said they were going to describe the characters in this chapter.
Oh no.
Good.
Toph has jet black hair and it is straight down instead of in its usual bun. She's already in couch culture. She pulled her hair out. She's got her legs fucking spread. She's got a fucking brewski.
Hell yeah.
Kooky hair is jet black and straight down too. They both have pale ivory skin. The only difference is that Toph... I thought it was going to say the only difference is Kooky could see.
Is that not what it's going to say?
The only difference is that Toph had pale emerald colored eyes while Kooky had violet eyes. They both have on green outfits. Kooky has on an oversized green sweater and back leggings and black shoes. Toph has a green dress barely above her knees and no shoes. Even though Toph has straight hair, she still kept her bangs. Azula didn't like to keep doing her bun up, so she stuck up with a ponytail, but kept the bangs in the jet black hair. You could see no emotion in her yellow eyes. That's about to change when they see some Toilinator bloopers. Her outfit is a pair of gray pants, red shirt that is long sleeve. Zoku has all the same features as Azula since he is her older brother. Zuko has a scar that Azula doesn't, which is on the left side of his face. He has hair that falls down a little over his eyes, while Azula's hair is down her back. He wears a red shirt and black pants. Jet has tan skin like Katara and Sokka. He has brown eyes that go perfect with his brown hair that is barely above his eyes. Jet wears a red shirt and a blue poncho over it and blue pants. Katara and Sokka both have blue eyes. Sokka has a short ponytail while Katara's hair is curly and goes down her back. Katara has a blue kimono. Sokka has a blue shirt with no sleeves and brown pants. Aang is 112 but has a 12-year-old body. His skin is pale like Azula's and Zuko's. He has a blue arrow on his head, bald like Nigel, and has a yellow pants and shirt, brown shoes.
He has a yellow pants.
Red socks, and a red poncho over it. Wally has fair skin, green eyes, blonde hair over his eyes, and an orange outfit. Nigel has pale skin, sunglasses, bald, red jacket, and khaki shorts. Abigail has a brown skin hair girl, long braid, blue short sleeve dress, brown eyes, and white shoes. Hoagie is thin now, used to be fat. Okay!
Now is when they...
This is the one time that's like worth meriting descriptors because they're different.
Right.
I just talked to like 10 characters. And they all...
There was like 2 hair changes, and then also Hoagie's thin now.
Also, fats should die. Hoagie is thin now, used to be fat. Brown aviator hat, brown sunglasses with yellow lens, brown hair, blue short sleeve jacket over a long sleeve white shirt, and brown pants. Suki has short brown... I thought it was Kooky. Whatever. Oh no, this is Suki from... Suki's here too! Suki has short brown hair above her neck, dark green eyes, a long green kimono, and she was holding her fans. Ty Lee has long brown hair and a braid, bangs, gray eyes, and a pink outfit. Mai has pale skin and is the most palest. Yellow eyes, long black hair in 2 buns, and a dark red long dress. I almost passed out again. Can we turn from this? Wally yells, getting tired of watching rainbow monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. It's like a rainbow threw up all over the TV, Mai said in a monotone voice. I think it is cute, Ty Lee says. Me and you both, Kooky says. It's as if they were separated at birth, Sokka says. Never mind. Why don't we watch a movie on technology, Hoagie says. Yeah, when I get ugly. Yeah, when I get ugly, Jet says. Well, I guess we have to now, Azula says. That was a good one. I have to remember that one, Sokka says, wiping a tear from his
How
eyes.
could you possibly reuse that one? It was a response to somebody else's comment about himself.
Well, there you go.
I gotta remember to call someone ugly. That's pretty funny.
Alright, you're right.
Shut up, Snoozles, Toph says. Why don't you, Wally says. Don't have to, Toph says. Guys, we shouldn't fight, Katara says, trying to keep them from going at it. Shut up, they say in unison. Wow, you guys could be a couple, Ty Lee says, giggling. I'm not going out with that thing, Wally yells.
Yeah.
That blind, impaired thing.
Jesus, Wally, come on.
Wally.
If we were outside, I would earthbend. Oh, if we were outside, I'd earthbend a giant rock to your head, Toph shouts. You can't even see my head, Wally.
Damn, Wally's taking his pot shots while they're inside now.
Wally found
Wally's
a
in
weakness.
his safe space. The fucking tree house. Ouch, Sokka says. Well, I'm out of here, Toph says, stomping away. Well now, would be a good time to turn the show, Sokka says. Wally, why don't you go talk to her since this is your fault, Katara says. No way am I talking to her, Wally says. Listen, I know Toph can be a bitch, Sokka says, cut off by Katara shouting. You don't even know what she has been through, Sokka. For you to call her that word would make you an even bigger one. Katara, calm down.
It's very in character for Katara to not swear.
I heard that you can break out from stress, Ty Lee says. I wish I could worry about that, but I can't since my father burned my face, Zuko yells.
Zuko finally speaks up.
Zuko, not you, since it's too late for you. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that, Ty Lee says with a nervous look on her face. Whatever, I'm going out of this hellhole you guys call home, Zuko says, getting up and never turning his back.
Zuko's pretty funny. He was smart. He just commented and left.
Can we turn the channel now? Sokka asks, causing everyone to just look at him shaking their heads. What did I say? Sokka asks, still clueless.
Clueless. Having fun reading your story.
I'm having a great time. I'm so fucking lightheaded.
What could they possibly do? They just sat around on the couch for like 30 minutes.
Now that all the people are gonna be off the couch, Jet's gonna finally have his chance.
Jet's gonna go harass
When
women.
the only people left are girls. This is why I didn't want to invite them to. This is why I did not want to invite them, but no one ever listens to Nige, Lizzie shouts, running happily after cutting him off. OMFG, you have got to be kidding me, Nigel says, running from her. Lizzie had slimmed down.
Slime.
She had slime.
She slimed down. This author hates fat people.
Oh,
I didn't realize she
Yeah,
had also been forced.
Lizzie was the other girl interest.
She was also kind of round.
Nige. Yeah, she was as round as Hoagie, but not anymore. She's been fixed.
Okay.
Rewritten. Better.
Lizzie had slimmed down, has pale skin, 2 braided pigtails, brown hair, yellow shirt, blue skirt, and glasses. Come back, Nige! Lizzie shouts, running after him out of the treehouse.
I always hated her.
Well, that was random, Mai says in a monotone voice. Who is she? Katara asks, curious. That's Lizzie. She has been obsessed with Nigel for as long as I can remember, Hoagie said. You only found out a few months ago, Abigail said. It's not my fault the person who made Codename Kids Next Door couldn't let me know sooner, Hoagie yelled. I wouldn't talk about the person who wrote your show. My mom did, and the person who wrote it killed her, Katara said.
Okay.
That was at the beginning. I'm permanently on the show, and my fans will get mad if he erases me, Hoagie said.
I have plot armor.
They hate that they decided to break the fourth wall, and now they're continuing to break the fourth wall. He could age you up quick, and wait a minute, Wally is supposed to apologize to Toph, Katara says, looking at number 4 with a scowl on her face. I would like to be called number 4, thank you, Wally says in a thick Australian accent.
All of a sudden.
We don't care who you are, just apologize to Toph, Azula says with a calm expression, something strange for her. Why do you care about Toph? Suki asks, looking suspiciously at Azula. I don't want her feelings hurt. I also think he shouldn't be mean to her since he had to break her, since she has had her heart broken, Azula says. How do you know that, stalker? Sokka asks. Azula is a lesbian, Jet says. Ew, that is gross, Tylee says. Jesus Christ.
Damn.
Now I know why you're so nice to us, Mai says, almost laughing. I am not a lesbian, and I am nice because you guys are my friends, Azula says.
Azula is not nice.
But is she a lesbian?
I think so.
We'll leave that up for debate. Seems like you were just a little too nice, Jet says. Jet, can we get out of your fantasy world and get back to the real world where number 4 apologizes to Toph?
No,
Katara.
you're women, which means you're in my fantasy world.
And I want you. Sokka asks. Oh, can we turn the channel now? Sokka asks. How do you guys live with him? Hoagie asks. Well, I am his girlfriend, Suki says to him. Number 5 wants to know what the hell do you see in that guy? Abigail asks. I have a name, you know, Sokka yells. No one cares to use it either, Jet says.
Jet shouting from the distance.
Why are you here? Sokka asks.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Weren't you supposed to be dead in either the late episodes of Season 2 or the early episodes of Season 3? Azula asks. No, Smeller Bee and Longshot saved me, Jet says. Where are they? Kooky asks. The author doesn't like Smeller Bee or Longshot, so they are not in the story.
It'd be really hard
I'm
to
calling
downsize
it
those
here. I'm
guys.
fucking sweating. My head hurts. I can't think straight. I'm hungry. I got a bum leg. I got a sore throat.
I think the author didn't want to include his crew because one of them is very heavyset. And it would be hard to slim him down.
I don't want to read anymore, but there's a line where Wally said, "Look, retard, I'm sorry."
Okay.
We friends.
I think Wally should be taken out back.
Wally called Toph a retard
I feel like that was a long time coming.
in his apology, and Toph said, "Fuck you." And he
Good.
said, "You know what? Fuck you too." Wally shouts.
Wally finally lost his fucking stuff.
Wally was bullying her and then she stood up for herself.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
What would you rank that story? I ranked that a steady trail of beer cans wherever Jet follows.
That's true. I rate that a bed in every home that Jet steps foot in.
I rate that a pissed off father screaming in his volcano because all the children came and left.
Why did they break in here and then leave?
Why did they go through the numbered doors and then leave? Thank you. So somebody else do the outro. I am exhausted.
Thank you for listening. If you like this, please follow us on YouTube or Spotify and tell your friends.
As well as Twitter. Join the Discord. That's in the description below.
Next time will we be doing the next thing right away?
Yes, that's going to be a plan, so we're really hoping it works out. We're going to have fun.
Next time we'll be doing an Amphibia fanfiction jam. The post will be going live before this is live, I think.
Yes, it will.
Okay. Thank you all for listening. Have a wonderful night. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.